struggles, and whatever's weighing on you, it's time for Therapy Thursday on Franklin County's favorite morning show, The Starting Lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
And good morning and welcome into the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham, and it is a cloudy, rainy morning here in southern Middle Tennessee. We'll go into the Wookiees' den and check with Chewy. What's the weather supposed to look like the rest of the day, my friend?
It's going to be a little bit of an off and on kind of thing. 60% chance for the whole county. High of 87. Partly sunny, though, in times in the afternoon. So
we encourage you to jump into the show today. Get involved, 931-967-3500. You can actually use that number. I know that we throw it out there every day, but rarely do we get calls. But you can actually use that number to have your voice heard. If you want to get involved in the show, if you want to call in and have a conversation, you can. And you can also text the show at 931-305-5611, or as a lot of people like to, they like to jump into the FMO Facebook feed. And that is up and running as well. So you can get on over, you can head on over to Facebook and get involved in the show there. It is a Therapy Thursday, and as it is each and every day, today's show fueled by Loco Coffee and pre-workout. I need the pre-workout today. I need the extra boost.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it's kind of like, well, you wouldn't know because have you ever worked out? It's kind of like 2 days after. The day after, I think I was the debate, I was still kind of like running on adrenaline. Yesterday, I stayed up till 2 a.m. I watched it like 3 different times. Then we talked about the debate for 2 hours, even though the debate only was 1 hour long. And so like adrenaline wise, I was still kind of going. Today, you wake up, there's the clouds. Today's like the crash day.
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, yesterday I was just like, dad's out of town, mom's got a kidney infection, Tori doesn't have a car, and so I have been like running around like with my head cut off, taking care of the dog and going up, and doing
Mom
all
okay?
Yeah, she's all right. She's just she had trouble walking with it.
I hope you feel better, Miss Gretchen.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of all of that, for the next 2 hours right here on ESPN Radio Winchester, we're going to get into some therapy. Just don't ask me to rub you down. Not that kind of therapy. Not like not like massage it. No, not that kind of therapy. What I want to get into today, Chewy, specifically, there are some things that take me back, some nostalgic things that take me back. We're going to talk a little bit about gaming. We're going to talk a little bit about pizza. I know, your two favorite things.
I know. Keep talking.
We're also going to talk about uniforms in athletics. We'll talk about fathers and sons. But before we get into all of that, I do want to start with a little bit of local therapy for Franklin County this morning. I think we need it. Not just because of, what happened Tuesday night. I think what happened Tuesday night was good. The debate was good. But I think what's happened since, because yesterday I spent a lot of time. Okay, It's 7:05. Somebody better be dying. AC, this is my personal number, AC. You call the line of the radio station that I just gave out if you want to get on the air. Not my personal number. I spent yesterday reading comments essentially on Facebook. Not the whole day. But as I saw them pop up, we get the alerts on our Facebook page for all of the comments that are dropped on our posts, right? A lot of people declaring winners and losers, people saying if you don't vote for this candidate, you're basically an idiot. And I'm just sitting there thinking as these things are popping up across my feed, this is not what we want. We don't want to go in this direction. And two, on Facebook, we all know, nobody ever changed somebody's mind on Facebook, especially by calling them names. Once you hit that point, haven't you lost the point?
Yeah, civil argument doesn't exist after that.
I don't think anybody's ever gone on there, Chewy, and said, wow, he just called me a moron in all caps and used 3 emojis.
Is this AC, Cleveland, Ohio?
It's probably AC.
Okay. Go ahead, caller.
It's AC.
AC, welcome in to the show, brother. How are you today?
Good. How you feeling, man?
I am tremendous. How are you? Just go for it, man. It's all you.
Gee, what are you guys talking about? Politics now? I heard something.
We got a sheriff's debate that we had the other night. You know how it is. Small town. We gotta get the sheriff's debate out there.
Okay. Give me a little more. I didn't listen. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Give me a little more.
We've got a gentleman, Tim Fuller, who's been there. He's an incumbent, been there for 20 years as a sheriff.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Charles Keller and Troy Parsons Jr., two young guys coming in behind him saying, it's time for a change. And so we did that the other night. Now, here's what's happened is everybody's gone full-blown AC on social media, right? They're saying, my guy's going to win. No, my guy's going to win. No, you're a moron. Full-blown you. They're taking lessons.
Well, here's the thing. Politicians, 95% of them, they're total liars. I don't know why you believe them. I just don't understand. Why do you people believe them? They just want a single vote. They would kiss your feet. I'm dead serious. They would do it just for one single vote. I mean, are you Americans that dumb to believe in your politicians? I mean, come on, answer that question. Did I ask you a tough question now? Come on.
No.
Be honest.
No, I
mean,
think you're right. I think that you're right. There's a little bit of that going on.
Let me tell you what's going on. Those media and social media, they divided everybody, so they have their biased opinion. Countries, they're beautiful. However, the government is corrupt. And trust me, they're listening to this. They're saying, who is this guy? Make sure he never comes on the show. Well, guess what? I am controversial. I can say whatever I want to. Because you're the liar. You're using the people to your advantage. And this is unfair to me. To be honest with you, Brother Joe, no countries will be fixed. Because if you don't take over the government, you're going to go down in the toilet. How are you doing, by the way? I forgot to ask you. I'm sorry, man. I'm good.
Did you have a good 4th of July? We enjoyed it down here in Winchester. We blew up all kinds of stuff. Lots of fireworks. It was nice.
Every did I enjoy one single day, man? 365 days, I enjoy it. Good, bad, the ugly, you name it. I say this is good. I'm dead serious. When it's a bad day, I say this is good because this is a lesson. I'm a motivator. I'm a promoter, which is why all those idiots, they hate me because they're jealous of my success, man. Hey, thank you so much for taking my call because it's been a long time since I spoke with you. How is Brother Chewy doing? Is he chewing all right?
Chewy is doing well this morning. He's sitting in the dark in his production studio, but he's doing pretty well. Hey, I gotta throw some credit your way. You called in. You knew you wanted to get in on the show. He told me yesterday he wanted to get in on the show, Chewy. And we started the show talking about the sheriff's debate, and he says, "Well, just fill me in," and then boom, he's got a take. That's pretty good. That's good quality by UAC.
Well, absolutely. Here's the thing: I could talk about any subject because I operate differently on radio. They're talking about this within 30 seconds. I'll come up with something because I'm just talented. I could brag about it because I'm successful. And the losers, they're jealous of my success. And let's get more haters on your show. I want them to hate me. Hey, thank you so much for taking my call. God bless you, man. And Brother Chewy, keep on chewing, all right? You're doing a good job. Love you, bro.
Thank you, AC. See ya.
That's AC. Hey, game recognized game, okay?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the show.
AC
All
just loves radio, man.
Well, I'm glad. Well, shout out to AC. Thanks for calling in.
Bringing the heat. Okay, anyway.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about morons. No, we were talking about how, you don't go on social media and start calling people names and change your mind. It just doesn't happen.
Right, yeah.
Right? And then next thing you know, people are screenshotting it. You got families that don't speak on Thanksgiving. Congratulations. Nobody won.
Alice jumped in saying,
Good morning, Miss Alice.
It's insane how people act. At the end of the day, we are all still neighbors and passionate about our county. I saw one comment that touched my heart. Caitlin Fuller Isabel commented on a post of Tracy Parsons, and it showed so much encouragement and character. Both of these ladies are amazing human beings.
Yes, and I would like to say this to the whole Parsons clan. And two, again, this is the way that I like to frame this whole situation, Chewy, and people need to not lose sight of this. What is the direction that we're all rowing in? We all three of these gentlemen, although they have different ideas maybe as to how to get there, the goal is to get to the same place, right? What are they talking about? They're talking about safer schools. They're talking about fighting the war on drugs. They are talking about accomplishing the same things. They want the same things. They just have different ideas as to how to get there, and it's their job to sell us that their plan, their strategy is going to move us as quickly and efficiently as possible in that direction. And so I'd like to say this to the Parsons clan and all the voters for Parsons. I said yesterday that for me, Troy just isn't there yet. He's still got some things to learn. And I stand by that in the regard, when I say that, what I mean is I feel like Troy, listening to him speak, is as passionate as anybody that I've ever heard speak about law enforcement. The passion is there. His desire is there. It's as strong as anybody's. But he's still got a way to go when it comes to learning the ins and outs. And so from a learning curve standpoint, I think that he will have a lot more to learn than maybe the other two candidates. He also wants to be on the road as well. And I think that while that's commendable, that's going to create some challenges. Now, 4 years from now, would I love to see him back in it again? Yeah. Now and two, for this, he hasn't pulled his name out of it, and I don't think he will, which is good on him. He stands by his belief. He's committed. He stands by his belief that he is the best candidate. He knows what's in his heart. Just got to give him credit there. All right, we'll be back on the other side and continue the conversation. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got
You're
it.
listening to the starting lineup. For people who don't know what CERN is.
That would be Chewy's. Like, if he could vacation somewhere, I think that'd be a spot he'd go.
I would kill to go to CERN.
I was about to say, I'm so disappointed.
Guided tours right here.
They do?
Guided tours.
No way.
Oh, so it's the thing
Cool,
from
25
Spider-Man.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But like in real life, and probably doesn't lead us to other dimensions of more Spider-Man.
That part of it.
It opens up the avenues for the conversation of parallel universes and how particles interact and the speed of
So
light.
it's the ultimate nerd machine.
Now, here's your ESPN Radio Winchester weather forecast. Brought to you by our official smile partner, Dr. Garrett Orr and Winchester Family Dentistry.
Showers and thunderstorms are headed your way again before 4 p.m. Patchy fog in the early morning. Otherwise, it will be a partly sunny day with a high of 87 degrees. Got some calm wind coming in from the southwest, and the chance of precipitation today is at 60%. Stay dry while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
At ESPN Radio Winchester, we're proud to welcome Winchester Family Dentistry and Dr. Garrett Orr as our official smile partner. From routine cleanings and family dental care to helping you feel confident about your smile, Winchester Family Dentistry is committed to caring for patients with comfort, professionalism, and a hometown touch. Whether you're due for a checkup or looking for a dental team you can trust, call Dr. Garrett Orr and Winchester Family Dentistry, proud smile partner of ESPN Radio Winchester.
This segment of the starting lineup is brought to you by the Furniture Merchandise Outlet in Tullahoma. Tune into the starting lineup with the FMO Facebook feed every weekday. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester, Joe Abraham and Chewy. Pretty ironically, in the first segment there, we got derailed by AC right after I made the statement that nobody ever uses the phone line to get involved in the show. You could be like AC. Now, you could also be like Brett, who jumped in the chat. Good morning, Brett.
Brett is in the chat. Good morning, Brett.
I can see Brett in the chat because I need to pull it closer to me, but I can see the TV from here now that we've re-upsized our TV. We were in Walmart the other day, walking down the aisle. We had to go up there for a cable. One cord. We had to go up there for a cord. We walked out with a TV. $68.
That's all I'm saying, dude.
For a 32-inch TV.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, getting very affordable. Anyway, the point is you can get involved in the show through the phone line. All right. To finish my thought on the election stuff and the debate and the campaign and all the things, it was one debate. The point of the thing is it's supposed to be an opportunity for the candidates to introduce themselves to the people of Franklin County, to measure themselves against one another, for you to see them side by side, see what, where they stand strong, where their weaknesses lie. It's not going to magically tell us who should win. It's not going to answer every question. In fact, I think that in a lot of ways it gave us more questions, right? But they did give us information. They answered the same question in different ways, in the same setting, to the same audience. There was a level of balance there. And then it's up to us at that point, the voters. We will decide the outcome. We will decide what matters. I think that the mistake that people make is that they expect everybody watching the debate, Chewy, to look for the same thing that they do. And this is what I tried to get across to people yesterday when we were having a conversation. Yumi and Ricky, we watched the debate and all experienced it in different ways. We all valued different things. Some people value leadership. Some people value new ideas. Some people value communication skills. Some people value the passion. Some people value management experience. Some people value continuity. Some people just want change. And so, depending on what your priorities are and how you list those things, you're going to experience the same debate in a completely different way than the person next to you. Literally, all three of us experienced it different ways. None of those priorities and how you prioritize those, how you list those, what order you list those priorities in, none of those automatically make you a bad voter. Just people weigh things different based on their personal experience. Welcome to the human experience. Everybody realized the other day, Tuesday night, that each of these candidates brings something different to the table. Anyway.
Certainly helped me shape my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what concerns me most, Chewy, isn't that. It's where we've reached, and it does stem from the national political climate, I would say, where people have learned, they've learned it. This is a learned behavior. People have learned that if you support one candidate, you must be required to hate the other one or the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Why? They're not blood enemies. He's not like we're going to battle here in the county for the sheriff's office. Just draw a line and just everybody grab their warhammer and their axe and their claymore. Let's go out back and have a good old fashioned Donnybrook.
Donnybrook. Alice says, I think each candidate brings something good to the table.
They do. But it doesn't mean that and they would be the first to say this. They don't want neighbors to turn into enemies.
Right. I think that's the important part about this whole thing is like, and I've said this a lot, and I'll continue to say it. Again, they're your neighbors. They're not these like faceless individuals where they show up, ask for your vote, and then disappear.
Yeah.
It's like these dudes.
You're gonna run into them at Walmart or at a restaurant or at church. The kids still go to school here, or the grandkids, or whatever. You're still gonna see them at ball games. You're gonna. It's not. We're not. This isn't Washington D.C. We're making votes on. This is Franklin County.
And I think that's why it's more important, is because it is in your backyard. You know, it's like I understand the frustration with the federal election, how you might feel a little powerless, even a state election maybe. But your county elections is like you can just go and talk to this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you, with most of these candidates, one email and y'all could probably set up a meeting just to ask them some questions.
Right?
You can't do that to the president. Well, you know, it's. I mean, this is what I mean.
And for a lot of people, the goal of hosting the debate wasn't necessarily to tell people who to vote for. It was to give voters more information than they had before. But I would say for 60-70% of people watching it, probably didn't affect who they were going to vote for at all.
Yeah, probably not.
There's probably 30% of people who are like, I have no clue who I'm going to vote for. 30% of people who knew exactly who they were going to vote for. 30% of people who were just there for the drama.
Yeah.
See if something happened. I don't know how many people are watching it and are like, I'm definitely now going to. I will say this. We had the debate had more views, more viewers than people who voted in the primary.
Yeah.
Total in the county.
It was shocking.
So from an impact standpoint, it reached people, and that was the job, was to dispense some information. So don't let what happens on Facebook, the comments, the loud voice in the comments section, don't let that get to you. Like Chewy said, talk to these people. If you're still questioning, wondering, talk to these people. Go find them.
I'm sure they'd also be happy to clarify if you had an issue with something they said.
Yeah.
Just
certainly.
Be like, could you elaborate on what you meant here? Or when you say you're going to do this, and I'm sure they'd be happy to tell you what they mean.
Right.
Sherry's Sons jumped in saying, I do have a few questions that we are left with. 1, why do inmates have cell phones with access at all time? 2, why are there only 2 meals a day? What about the ones who do not have commissary? 3, why did Troy not look at budget? Was it available to him to go over? He has a lot of good ideas, wants to build the department up. The budget is a huge factor. 4, GPS. Are we utilizing all tech available to the sheriff's department effectively and efficiently? So these are all questions.
So I can
people
answer.
Are left open with.
Yeah, I can answer a few of those, or at least I can do my best. So number 1, why do inmates have cell phones with access all the time? So it's my understanding that being legally incarcerated, they have to be allowed to make phone calls and do that type of stuff anyway. They can have access to contacting the outside world. And if they're going to be able to legally have that access, the idea is, well, if they're going to make phone calls, if they're going to talk to people, if they're going to do things like that anyway, let's find a way to monetize it. Instead of just letting guys, make phone calls and not really be able to, we have a need here. Let's offer a service that they can kind of gain access to these little, their chirp devices or whatever they're called. And that them paying for those chirp devices allows taxpayers to save money because it's paying for, according to Tim Fuller during the debate, pays for the system. So having cell phone, they're not quite cell phones. They're more like little text thingies.
Yeah, it's like a texting only device.
Anyway. So that's my understanding of it. They're going to be able to contact the outside world anyway. Number 2, why are there only 2 meals a day? What about the ones who do not have commissary? I will say this about the 2 meals a day. It sounds bad because we, 3 hots in a cot and 3 square meals a day, and we as Americans think that 3 meals a day it's not required. Okay, our bodies are trained for 3 meals a day based on the way that we live our life. These guys are not in the prison system, starving to death. Okay, so while I get the concern, their bodies will quickly adjust to the fact that they have breakfast and dinner, or a morning meal and an afternoon meal. Heck, I personally, that's all I do anyway. I don't have breakfast. Half the time, I eat 1 meal a day. I go all day and I eat at dinner. So their bodies they're not starving to death. Look at me. Am I starving to death? I eat most of the time. I'd say 75% of the time, I eat 1 meal a day. I literally don't have time. I wake up, I got to get here, I got to prep for the show, I got to do the show. By the time I'm done, we're right in the middle of the workday. I got to get out there. I'm moving and grooving. Katie's got the kids, or she's doing this, or she's doing that, and sometimes she gets food, sometimes she brings me food. A lot of times she's going, I don't eat. I get home. Heck, there are days I will literally go till 8, 9 o'clock at night having not eaten. I'm not wasting away. Is it a little bit uncomfortable maybe at first for them? Yeah. Do some of them maybe need special because of blood sugar and other things like that? Yeah. I'm not concerned about the 2 meals a day. And if it saves taxpayers a little bit of money, that's the decision that they've chosen to make in our system. If you've got a problem with it, what I would say is if we have enough people that have a problem with it, we need to adjust it. Sure, certainly. But with that comes adjustments to taxes. If we got to pay for everybody in the system now to eat another meal a day, then somebody's got to pay for that. What about the ones who do not have commissary? Again, they'll adjust, in my mind. Why did Troy not look at the budget? Was it available to him to go over? So the county commission has voted on the budget and approved the budget. While it may not have been available up until recently publicly, it is, I believe, publicly available for anybody to go look at, much less a sheriff's candidate. If Troy had gone and asked for access to that budget so that he could review it, I think that he could have gotten his hands on it. And I definitely think now that since it's been confirmed, it was available to him. It's available for anybody. It's public information. GPS, are we utilizing all the tech we have available to the Sheriff's Department effectively and efficiently? Well, we don't have GPS right now, and according to Ricky, conversations with the Winchester Department, they have had GPS in their cars for like the last 4 years, and they've used it twice, I think, is what they said. Wow. It's like, we never use it. Now, the opposite argument to that is if there is a lawsuit, having access to that information could save a ton of money. Alice Davis says inmates should be fed at least a sandwich at lunch. And that's fine. I I can't argue against it one way or another. The question too is, well, how big is the breakfast and how big is the dinner? Like, we're talking about, like, what are we talking about? What are we looking at? What are we feeding these guys? I think that's the bigger question. I don't think it's about having 3 meals a day. There's a lot of people that don't eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day is a very American way of looking at it. Heck, as human beings, as Homo sapiens, we probably, Chewy, back in the day, long before all of us were here, it was like, how many times a week do you eat? You know? So I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think that these guys are starving in the prison system here locally. All right, we'll hit a break because the music played and be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Stimulant misuse can take many forms. It may involve abusing methamphetamine or prescribed ADHD medication. Both carry real risks when not used safely or under medical supervision. Prevention starts with education and open communication. The Franklin County Prevention Coalition provides tools and local resources to help families make informed decisions. When we stay proactive, we are stronger together, and we are stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
No two patients are alike. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas delivers care centered around your health, your goals, your story, your recovery. From routine checkups to critical procedures, we use today's medical technology and advanced clinical practices to help you feel better, recover faster, and return home to the community you love. We don't just specialize in care, we specialize in you. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Health Department is helping local families prepare for the upcoming school year with its annual Back to School Bash. The drive-thru event will take place Thursday, July 23rd, beginning at 8 a.m. at the Health Department, located at 266 Joyce Lane in Winchester. Students will receive free backpacks filled with school supplies while supplies last, helping ease the cost of back-to-school shopping for area families. Organizers encourage parents to arrive early as supplies will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. The event has become a popular community tradition, giving students the tools they need to start the school year prepared and ready to learn. Franklin County Schools has officially opened online enrollment for the 2026 to 2027 school year. Parents can register new students or update returning student information for grades 1 through 12 by visiting fcstn.net. Pre-K and kindergarten students will continue using traditional paper enrollment forms. Families needing assistance can visit enrollment kiosks at the Franklin County Board of Education every Wednesday in July from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. The district encourages parents to complete enrollment early and reminds families that important back-to-school dates and the full school calendar are available on the district's website and Facebook page. Downtown Winchester is inviting the community to enjoy its next Third Thursday event on July 16th with the Summer Pick-In Party from 5 until 8 p.m. Visitors can explore downtown businesses while collecting fresh flower stems to create their own bouquet, enjoy live pick-in music, shopping specials, and browse vintage treasures at featured businesses Oaks and Oliver. Guests will also have the opportunity to win prizes, including a $200 Oaks and Oliver gift certificate. Tickets are $25 with additional ticket information available through downtown Winchester. For details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. It is an interesting conversation to be had. Alice mentions, well, I'm a big back. I would be deceased. Of course, I wouldn't plan on spending any time in there, or I don't plan on spending any time in there. it's an interesting conversation to be had, an interesting question to be asked. There are people making those decisions, though, that, that's part of what they do. It's your job, is to figure that out. From a nutrition standpoint, what do these guys and ladies in the system need? What's necessary, what's required, all those types of things. I think that if we were not feeding our inmates, the state and from a national level, they'd probably come down and be like,
You have to do that.
you got to do that. I don't think we're breaking any laws. It may be, like I said, it may be uncomfortable for some guys or some folks in the system when they're first adjusting. But you know what else is uncomfortable? Coming off of drugs, detoxing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are going to be uncomfortable for them if they fall into the system.
Katie wanted to know if the scrimmage was still on at 9.
I would say, based on the thunder that I just heard, if it continues going at this rate, probably not. But we've got an hour and a half until then, so we'll just have to see.
Also, Andrew jumped in.
Good morning, Andrew. And there is supposed to be a 7-on-7 this morning over at the high school. Fayetteville City is supposed to be coming over along with, I think it's Cannon, is what I was told. Our plan was to go over there for that. And sure enough, it's behaving. The weather has got a mind of its own. It's behaving the way it's decided to behave. All right. So being that it's a Therapy Thursday here on the starting lineup, Chewy, I need therapy for something. I need therapy for a game that I haven't even played yet.
Oh.
I started reading about reports that really they start popping up all over my newsfeed that EA has added microtransactions into modes like Road to Glory and Dynasty modes. So for people who don't know what the heck I'm talking about right off the top. So a couple years ago, the college football game came back. College football video game came back. For me, I love still playing these games, because I love football, and I can't physically play football anymore. But what I really love about them is from a work standpoint, I get to play as Tennessee. I get to play as Alabama. I get to play as these college teams that we talk about, and there is a level of accuracy to the skills and what these guys are capable of. And, if I'm playing, what is Keelan Russell like as a quarterback? Let me play as him and see what kind of skills, what kind of ratings he has. What can I expect from him? Now, are they 100% accurate? No. But for the most part, they do a pretty good job rating these guys, the rosters, all the things. And so it helps. I also just grew up playing them. And like I said, I love football. So now my boys are coming into the age where they're all into football, and I can play with them. Except for the fact, and you and I have talked about microtransactions, where initially when games first came out, you'd buy the game, boom, play the game, that was it. Once you buy the game, you own it, and you have access to everything that the game is capable of. Then they started adding these areas, these categories within the game, which were like, hey, if you want almost a different version of the game, if you want to unlock certain things that this game can do that it's capable of, pay for these microtransactions, this access to these certain things. You can do add-ons, you can do DLCs, you can do other things like that, or there's an entire separate section that you can get into. But for the longest time, single-player mode, the core of the game for most games, still is and always has been. It's like if you're playing Super Mario 3. You don't get to the second or third level, and it's like, hey,
99 cents, and you can get a power boost.
Yeah, to beat this level,
yeah,
you need power wings. But to get power wings, you can't defeat you know, or you can't go to the secret gate, the behind the castle thing or whatever. No, you got to pay 99 cents to get
Joe
the Power
Abraham's
Wheels.
fan of Mario.
Dude, I know where all of the whistles are.
Yeah.
But to get this whistle, you got to pay 99 cents. And then you can skip this world that you don't like. So that's what it would be like if you ever played Super Mario Brothers 3. And if you didn't, we can't be friends.
That might be one of the best side-scrollers ever made.
Yeah. In my opinion, yeah.
It kind of peaked for me right there.
Yeah. There's another side-scroller that I wish would happen that is still in development.
Oh, well, what is it? Are you allowed to say it on air, or is it something? Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's get past some of this stuff, and then we'll start that.
That's true.
We'll get there. Don't worry. We just need to get some momentum on 3 different shows, but we'll get there.
Anyway, so here's my problem. Is they have now taken, Chewy, in NCAA, you had Road to Glory, which is where you can create a person. You can create a person and live a fantasy life and achieve college football greatness. You create your own dude.
As yourself.
Yeah,
if you wanted.
I need to create a Chewy character and get that man an NIL deal for all of the pizza.
Ooh, dude, I could get sponsored by Domino's, put a pizza sticker on my helmet.
Pizza and Pib.
Dude, that would be the best.
So that's our goal. In case anybody is ever like wondering, you know what the goal of this show is? It's really not to supply Franklin County with local information, local news. It's really not to serve the people. The whole goal of this show is just to get to the point where Chewy effectively gets sponsored by Mr. Pip.
That honestly would be I could quit. I'd be like, all right, we've done it.
We're already kind of there when it comes to the pizza.
A little bit.
Thanks to Kyle over at Domino's.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle. Landon jumped in the chat this morning.
W's in the chat for Kyle and pizza.
Landon says, looking good this morning, Chewy. Thanks, Landon. Right back at you. He says, what position would Chewy be?
See, he's interested now. We're talking about NCAA 27. We're talking about create a character Chewy. That's a good question, because if he's a quarterback, he could literally, his forward pass, he would just reach across the line of scrimmage 30 yards downfield and hand it to the wide receiver. That's accuracy right there. I would say, well, you can't be offensive line. I don't think linemen are in, like, the road to glory. That's a good question. I'd make him a big, like, linebacker or something like that. Or just, like, a huge running back.
Alice says, Chewy has my vote. Thank you, Alice.
5 speed. Yes, we have shirts, which I need to do this. We've been so busy with the debate, we haven't even put out the QR code and released the link to the store and stuff. We have shirts that say Vote Chewy for Galactic Emperor, in case you want to show your support. I would say making him a big running back with like 5 speed, just like not 99 speed, like 5. Give him 5 where he just walks. He just walks everywhere, but he's untackleable. That would be what I would do. So
Katie jumped in saying Chewy would do anything to clothesline an opponent.
Yeah, he would. No, that's where I would put Katie. Katie would be the linebacker.
Yeah.
You should see the way. We'll go out in the backyard and play touch football. It's touch football till Katie gets out there and tackles Jack, my 5'6" 6th grader, 7th grader. All right, so back to the whole point of this. This has gone completely off the rails. Chewy, what they've done is they've taken a traditionally, like a traditional game mode that people basically buy the game for, Road to Glory, where you can create a player, and Dynasty mode, where you take the team. So you take Tennessee, and you say, I'm going to play as Tennessee for the next 30 years. I'm going to build my dynasty. Or a lot of people, what they do is they start as like Appalachian State, one of the worst teams, and then they build them up, and next thing you know, Appalachian State's winning like national champion after national championship.
That's really funny.
But now what they've done is they've incorporated microtransactions into these traditional single-player free game experiences.
The whole loot box controversy started in sports gaming. It started with soccer, the soccer games.
Of course it did.
In the FIFA.
Dang
thing.
FIFA!
Really what happened was the gaming industry took, because they couldn't do it. They tried the microtransaction and loot thing in other games, and the more hardcore gamers were sort of resistant to it. So then they brought it into Star Wars, and then they got into a lot of trouble. I don't know if you remember that when Battlefront 2 came out?
Yeah.
And that was what the catalyst was, but that was because EA was like, well, we're making all this money with microtransactions with the sports games. Let's just put them in the other games.
Yeah.
And people lost their minds.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. Start.
You're such a dweeb.
Shut up.
You are, oh my God, you're a sheep in wolf's clothing.
Now the cheat code is Visa, MasterCard, American Express.
Joe, that was a really good joke. That's actually really good.
The question is, if technology has gotten so better, the graphics are like amazing, the physics are amazing, online capabilities are amazing. You can play with your friends who now live in like Switzerland. Amazing. The voice acting is literally actors.
Oh yeah.
Like Oscar-winning actors in these games half the time. Yet somehow, Chewy, the overall experience does not feel as magical as it used to do.
Yeah.
We used to fire that thing up, and it was like I could sit there and play whatever game it was and lose my life in this game. And now I get like a little bit into it, and it's just not there.
Indie games.
Yeah.
That's where you need to go.
That's it.
That is where the artists and the creatives go.
It's more about the experience.
Right. And like the only one I can really think of right now that like really just truly focuses on the game is actually Doom. Because it's just so gameplay focused that they can't monetize it outside of that. But I think indie games is where you need to go.
Well, I don't think that we're missing technology. I think that we're missing the experiences, right? And you look back to the early 2000s, late 90s. We're ordering pizza. We're going to Pizza Hut. Get your shoes. We'll stop at Blockbuster or GameStop or something like that on the way back. Maybe Hollywood Video. What do we have around here?
Action Video.
Action. And you spend an hour just walking around the store looking, or what felt like an hour. Looking at the boxes, arguing over which game to rent. Oh, man. Then everybody piles into the living room, or the parents get in the living room, they're going to watch a movie, and you and your buddies go down to the basement.
Yeah.
Man.
These kids these days missed out, dude.
I know it. I mean, so we would play the wrestling game, and then after 3 or 4 hours of playing the wrestling game, somebody would end up going through the coffee table.
Yeah.
Somebody would get choke slammed into the couch.
Some loser's arm is going to hit the ceiling fan light.
That sounded a little bit too accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have long arms, though.
Landed. I didn't say it was me, Joe Abraham.
Well, you said loser, so I just figured.
All right, we're going to break.
All right, we'll be back. Joe Abraham and Pizza the Hut will be back on the other side. It is a starting lineup. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next. ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Dale from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show. I like your show. I've been watching you for years. I like you, but I don't like you. I don't know you like Tennessee or Alabama. I don't know which one you like, but I know you don't like the Auburn Tigers, man.
Willie, thank you. I'm a little bit confused by liking me and not liking me, but you laid out your case very well.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
For over 75 years, one thing has never changed in Winchester, Tennessee. Hall Furniture has been there through it all. 3 generations, decades of trust, and the commitment to quality, value, and service that still comes first today. As we celebrate over 75 years in business, we want to say thank you to our loyal customers, our community, and to everyone who has made Hall Furniture a Winchester tradition. Hall Furniture, here's to another 75 years of helping you make a house feel like home.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at reliablerentalfc.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Take the starting lineup with you wherever you go. Download the WCDT smartphone app in your Google Play and Apple App Store. Now, back to the guys.
Wrapping up hour number one here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Lots of people in the chat. Landon did say wide receiver, possibly long reach.
Yes.
Alice said the Juke Master Chewy. Johnny Hand says I lost my childhood to Pitfall. and Landon,
aging yourself there, Johnny.
I was about to say, yeah. Landon said he misses a Pizza Hut buffet, dude. Right. And then he says gotta wipe off the disc because it's got the scratches on it. You know.
Landon, we were blowing in the cartridges, Landon.
No, I remember where you went to that one friend's house who didn't put his games up, and they were like in the pile,
right?
And you were always like, "Good Lord,
yeah.
son," you know.
Oh,
you'd be in the middle of a game and it chokes. Let's see.
I was OCD about mine.
Speaking about Pitfall, Alice jumped in saying that she also enjoyed that as well as Frogger, and then Frogger was good. I enjoyed Frogger. Katie jumped in saying, my mom wouldn't allow video games unless we bought it ourselves. So I ended up on the bike and playing in the mud.
Yeah. Back in the day, that's what it was. Those things will melt your brain. My parents used to say, get off that thing. Yeah, melt your brain. I'm still stuck on, I think that Landon might be right. The long reach. Can you catch, though? I throw things at you, and they hit you in the head all the time. So,
well, you know, it's hard to catch whenever it's get thrown from behind your back. But, you know,
yeah,
it depends. I don't know. I've never tried.
Like, I'll give you credit on that one. That's true.
I've never tried to catch a football outside of a few very specific circumstances.
Let me put it this way. For people who are wondering, my boys taught Chewy how to throw a football.
Yeah.
In fact, my 7-year-old is the one that taught Chewy how to throw a football.
Yeah.
Landon said, I had an old Nintendo. Believe it or not, I had to blow in the game too. Yeah.
He says, I've got to get that pine tar in my hands.
Let me ask you this, Landon. How are the boys looking? He texted me the other day. He's got a pretty good little roster going.
Nice.
Yeah. The numbers are up, he says, over there at North Middle School.
North football is about to be dominating.
Yeah, let me know how the boys are looking. I text Coach Reed the other day. I got to get Cal Thompson. I got to get with him. He said, come out to practice one day, Chewy, and we'll run some routes. What time do you guys practice, Landon? Let us know. We'll come out there. I've been at Jack's practice the last couple not the day before yesterday because of yesterday I took them to practice and it rained the whole time. So they were in watching film and I was sitting in the car the whole time.
Okay.
Looking good, working hard. Coach Reed said his boys are learning a lot as well and they're looking good, putting in the work. This is that time you talk about.
Yeah.
He says 4 to 6:30. All right.
Fridays from 4 to 5. There you go.
Fridays 4 to 5? Ooh, okay. I might be able to make it out there Friday. I like that.
Yeah.
Might be more of like a walkthrough, though, if it's only an hour long. All right. So we've all determined that Chewy Everybody thinks that you should be more of an offensive player, I think. A wide receiver. Boy, jeez.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that one.
It came out of nowhere. I gotta figure this out, because now here's the thing though. I'm gonna tell you this straight up, okay? I can't afford the microtransactions. So there is no battle pass for you. I don't get the patches. There's no season pass. There's none of that.
I don't get the gold skin.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get you probably the NIL deal that you want. You're going to suck because I'm not going to be able to upgrade you. That's my concern, is I'm going to play this game, and I don't really do the Road to Glory thing usually anyway, but I'm going to play your Road to Glory as Chewy, and I'm not going to be able to level you up, man.
If you play me in a football game, I'll play as you in Skyrim. How's that?
I'm going to create Chewy, and you know what my whole experience in the game is going to be? It's like sitting on the bench watching the game,
eating pizza,
walking over to the water cooler, and there's like a special jug of Mr. Pibb. Chewy's just on the sideline watching the game, front row seats, pizza and Pibb.
Dude, I mean,
that's my
best seat in the house.
That's my NCAA experience as playing as Chewy.
Landon did say that Speck and Caleb are excited about the 29th.
Nice.
And Brett Crabtree is talking about the 7-on-7 for the Rebels this morning.
Yes, it's supposed to be at 9 o'clock. We've talked about that. I want to head over there. My concern is the weather, obviously. So we'll see.
I am also hopeful. I need some football footage. So
I can't even afford to buy Chewy's character in the game like cleats. You're just going to walk out there barefooted Wookie.
Bright pink cleats would be my choice.
I'm going to tell you something else that has changed when we come back in hour number 2. It is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9.
Summer is here, and it's the perfect time to refresh your home with hot deals from Furniture Merchandise Outlet in Tullahoma. Whether you're upgrading your living room, bedroom, dining room, or finding the perfect mattress, FMO has stylish furniture at prices your wallet will love. Visit Furniture Merchandise Outlet today at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma, or shop anytime at FMOTN.com. Make your house feel like summer all year long with FMO.
Looking for your next great round of golf? Head to the Bear Trace at Tim's Ford in Winchester. This spectacular Jack Nicklaus designed 18-hole course sits along scenic Tim's Ford Lake with rolling fairways, challenging greens, and lake views that highlight the natural beauty of Franklin County. Whether you're planning a weekly foursome, a company outing, or just sneaking around in, Bear Trace offers one of the best public golf experiences in the region. Book your tee time today at TNStateParks.com and play the Bear Trace at Tim's Ford. This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
Kristen Abraham, curator of Abraham Art Gallery right on the square in downtown Winchester. Looking for something unique? Every month brings a new featured artist, original art to inspire and share with the community. Come in, explore, and discover art that's ready to go home with you today. Whether you're redecorating, collecting, or just need something that sparks joy, this is your place. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Visit abrahamgallery.com or stop by at 106 North High Street. You never know what you'll fall in love with.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance
We
Abuse
are
Services.
Franklin County, WCDT 1340 AM, W295 AV, 1069 FM. Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Hour number 2 here. As folks continue jumping in, letting us know what position I should make Chewy in NCAA 27, if and when I can afford to buy it. I'm pretty sure I can write that off as a business expense.
Just any sports, anything.
Yeah, it helps me with show prep and stuff like that.
Yeah, how do you think I get the probabilities for my SEC picks?
You know, we talked about this though in the past, like simulating the games and then talking about previewing them on Friday or something like that. Oh, we ran all the simulations this weekend. The Titans are going to get beat by 40, and the Vols are going to do this, that, and the other thing. I think I could write that off. Katie, what do you think?
Kevin Simmons jumped in saying Chewy might be a good tight end. He could block and catch passing.
Yeah, he's gonna be sitting on the end of the bench. Katie said I'll be there getting those pictures for the boys. KT Studios out at the 7-on-7. It looks like it might be clearing up. I don't know. It's so patchy right now, so spotty right now.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of nostalgia, Tennessee's got one of the great uniforms, great brands, overall brands in athletics. And I just want to start hour number 2, Chewy, by saying that I just really like what Tennessee has done this week with their uniforms. They're rolling them out, not like dumping everything all at once. They're actually rolling them out. They did like the orange on Monday and the white on Tuesday, and they did some Summit Blue stuff, which Summit Blue is Pat Summit, the basketball coach, the women's basketball coach. I'm explaining this for everybody else who knows who Pat Summit is. Chewy, I said Summit Blue, and I just got a blank stare. And then I said Pat Summit, and I got a blank stare. And then I said that, the women's basketball coach, and he nodded his head. Still kind of blank stare, didn't it?
Yeah, it means nothing.
Could not pick Pat Summit out of a police lineup. So Summit Blue is kind of like a light blue, but also kind of like a gray. He's also colorblind for people who, not all colors, just the good ones.
Reds and greens, they mess with me sometimes.
So what color does Alabama wear?
They were you said they were like a maroon, right?
Yeah, but what does it look like to you?
It looks like a brown.
Oh, man.
I always thought they were brown.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Is it?
No, I think that would be cool.
Oh, okay.
Seeing it in a different shade, seeing their colors, like their look in a different shade.
Here's how I would describe it. Dr. Pepper is that's how I would describe that color to me.
Okay.
It's like a Dr. Pepper caramel color.
Okay. What color is the Dr. Pepper label or the Mr. Pibb label?
That's Alabama crimson.
Yeah, that's the color that their uniforms are.
Yeah. That's the only way I was ever able to associate that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same color.
She says, Chewy, are you even a Tennessean? Technically.
Yeah.
Spent some time in Texas.
So, where was I at? Oh, Pat Summit.
Sorry.
So Summit Blue, they rolled out the Summit Blue look. I personally, there are some real traditionalists who don't like any of the Summit Blue stuff. And there are some people within Franklin County, there are some Franklin County uniforms that have popped up that are kind of like the blue, like the light blue.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I personally love the Summit Blue for Tennessee. Yeah, well, it's popped up. That is that a Summit Blue one?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's not an actual uniform I think that they've ever worn in football. I think that's somebody's concept. Look for like softball or something like that. Anyway, my point is that I really like what they've been doing as far as rolling them out. Today, I think, is the day that they're rolling out the blackout uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
The dark mode.
Now, you said you weren't like a huge fan of those?
No, I am not a huge fan of teams. Oh, we still got the Where's the Beef Wednesday video up. I got to change that. It's Therapy Thursday, Joe. I personally am a traditionalist, but I do like once a year wearing some kind of special look. Like Notre Dame does it, where they wear the Shamrock Series uniform. The problem is that every year the Shamrock Series uniform gets worse and worse. The further away from the Bush Push green uniform that they get, the worse it gets. That's the Shamrock Series jersey that they need to wear every year. For folks who don't know what I'm talking about, look up the Bush Push. It's basically their traditional Notre Dame uniform, but instead of navy blue, they had like a dark forest green. That's what their alternative uniform should look like, and they should wear it once a year, pick a game, once a year, wear that uniform. For Tennessee, here's the challenge, right? You've got dark mode, then you've also got the smoky gray. And so now 2 games out of the year, Tennessee, which has these tremendous traditional uniforms, 2 games out of the year, they're wearing uniforms and they don't look like Tennessee to me, right? And who are you going to wear those uniforms against? Because I don't want to see them wearing the blackout uniforms against another SEC rival. You want to see when Alabama and Tennessee play, you want to see them look like Alabama and Tennessee, right? Personally, I'd love for them to go back to where Alabama's wearing the red and Tennessee's wearing the orange. They go color on color. That would really be sharp. In Chewy's case, it wouldn't be red. Bless you. It wouldn't be red and orange. It would be brown and orange in Chewy's case. Chewy's having an allergic fit in the studio, just in case anybody was wondering.
There's something going wrong. There's something wrong with me, which I think was obvious, but I mean, there's something new.
This is a new problem.
Yeah.
So I really like, and when I think of Tennessee, I do think of Adidas. I like the uniforms. I like what they've done. I like the fact that they look like Tennessee still. And they didn't do anything crazy. I'm old-fashioned when it comes to uniforms. And, orange jerseys, white helmets, power tee, done. I don't particularly like when Franklin County's coaches get to decide what their uniforms look like. And we've talked about this time and time again. There needs to be brand standards in Franklin County. Now, I know that they've started that conversation and they've started what that looks like and laying it out and saying, hey, this is our expectations. I think, though, that we have gone so far off the reservation at times. There's light blues, there's red. Red is technically not in the color palette, but it has made its way into the uniform since like the late 60s, early 70s, something like that. And so it just needs to be defined, and we need to have a standard. We need to have a brand. We've talked about that. That's not what today's conversation is particularly about, but I like Summit Blue for Tennessee because it means something to them. What I don't like in the state of Tennessee is how every high school basketball team has the checkers down their gusset, down the side of their uniform. You're not the Tennessee Vols. Now, you can pay homage to Tennessee by doing that, but you're not doing that. You're just doing what every other high school is doing. And Franklin County incorporating Summit Blue or light blue into our stuff, like, create your own identity. Create your own brand. That's how I feel about that. I like it for Tennessee, for just women's athletics. People have brought up, we should do a football uniform that's Summit Blue. Wait. So you want a smoky gray. People watching the FMO Facebook feed. You want a smoky gray. I did it again. You want a black, and you want a Summit Blue. When the hell are you going to actually look like Tennessee?
That's a good point.
Drives me nuts. Not every brand needs 15 different looks, and not every brand needs to be copied across every team. Sometimes exclusivity, Summit Blue, is more meaningful being a women's thing. Women's athletics at Tennessee on Rocky Top, Summit Blue. Men, smoky gray.
Kevin Simmons says, being a Vols fan, I'm good with any color scheme as long as they don't wear those orange helmets.
Yeah, the orange helmets. There are some people that really like the orange helmets, and they're like, we should wear orange helmets with the white. What's funny is, Alabama, there's been a lot of talk about Alabama wearing white helmets once a year. I'm all for that. I think that would be cool. But Tennessee tried the orange helmets, and I saw it, and I was like, ooh. That's a no. That's a hard pass.
I don't think I've ever seen a full orange helmet. I've always seen them in the white.
It was inverted. So instead of being all white with the orange tee and orange stripe, it was all orange with the white stripe and a white tee. And I like an alternate one game a year. I know that the recruits love the alternates. I know that today kids like options. I know that that's a thing. I get that. But for the teams, you ask me what I really think. If a kid had to choose between wearing 15 million different uniform combinations at Oregon or wearing the Tennessee Vols traditional look or Alabama's traditional look, I think most kids would say, you know what? I'd look really good in that traditional powerhouse. I mean, the names that have played in that uniform. I'd like to add myself to that list. I'd look really good in that classic look.
Alice says they got to keep us buying more and more merch.
They do. To that point. That's why a lot of these teams do it. But it detracts, in my opinion, from the tradition of the games. Tennessee needs to look like Tennessee. Notre Dame should look like Notre Dame. Texas should look like Texas. Penn State should look like Penn State. I do like Penn State. Penn State has a throwback, and all they really do, though, is I think they throw stripes on the pants, and then speaking of the white helmet, they put the numbers on it. Kind of looks like a version of Alabama. But I just love that look with the numbers on the helmet. Georgia Southern has that look. It's a very classic look. When we come back, talk a little bit more about uniforms because Tennessee's moving away from Nike, and I blame Nike. Speaking of Therapy Thursday, I think Nike needs some therapy.
Oh, okay.
I can't stand what Nike does to uniforms. We'll talk about it on the other side.
Okay, I'm fascinated by this.
ESPN Radio Winchester.
Struggling with stiffness or reduced function in your thumb? Thumb osteoarthritis can interfere with daily activities when conservative treatments fall short. Transarterial embolization is a non-surgical outpatient procedure designed to reduce inflammation in the thumb joint. Recovery is typically quick and no major surgery is involved. To learn more about transarterial embolization, contact Southern Tennessee Cardiology and Vein Center or visit southtncardio.com.
It is the starting lineup. So the World Cup is going on right now in America, which means we have visitors from all corners of the world. They spend the last couple of weeks thinking, you know what? Americans aren't that bad. Nothing says welcome to America like a Belgian soccer fan waking up at 7:30 to some guy named Randy blowing up mortars in the backyard and a sleeveless Dale Earnhardt shirt. Welcome to America!
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
Showers and thunderstorms are headed your way again before 4 p.m. Patchy fog in the early morning. Otherwise, it will be a partly sunny day with a high of 87 degrees. Got some calm wind coming in from the southwest, and the chance of precipitation today is at 60%. Stay dry while you stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds, and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
We apologize if this is your first time, but yes, unfortunately, this is normal. You're listening to the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340-1069, WCDT Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340-1069, WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham and Chewy in studio. I want to take a quick second before we continue the conversation about uniforms. I just saw a text come across my phone, and it is a welcome to the WCA family, Terry Reed. Miss Terry is the wife of Coach Chuck Reed. And so she's going to be teaching over there at Winchester Christian Academy as an English teacher, high school English teacher. I think that that's probably for the best that she's not at Franklin County High School. I don't know what the family dynamic and decision behind all that was. I think that, it'd be great to have her within the school district, certainly. In a way, she is in the area, and she is a quality teacher that we're adding to the area. What I'd like to state with that is, think about the influx of teaching talent that Coach Reed's addition to the staff has brought to the area. And you say, what are you talking about? Well, he's added 10 coaches or 9 coaches, including himself, to the staff. And it's my understanding he has a personal belief that each of these coaches should be teachers, or at least eventually will be, if they're not yet. And I'm not talking about like just working within the district, working for a school, but like he's a math teacher, and he wants his guys to be teachers. I've got to dive more into that with him. But if that's the case, and he's brought in a bunch of quality teachers to the area, leaders of young men, what a cool thing. We need good quality teachers. But congratulations to Miss Terry. I actually ran into the two of them here recently. Got to meet her only for like 2 seconds. Coach Reed was carrying a very heavy box. And he's like, oh, he's carrying his box. They're in the process of like moving, right? Getting into their new home. He's like, oh, this is my wife, Miss Terry. And I'm like, oh, it's great to meet you. And I'm like, I'm going to let you guys go. I basically ran away. I'm like, I'm going to let you guys go because that box looks really heavy and you don't need to be introducing me to your wife right now. So I shook her hand and said, "It was nice to meet you," and I like ran away. It was afterwards. I was like, that was kind of weird, but I saw him carrying this box, and I was just like, I felt bad for him. I've been there.
I saw Dr. Alsop just walking down the street in the square yesterday.
Yeah.
And I drove past him with the windows down. I said, "Hey, Raj!"
I love living in a small town. Anyway, all right. Welcome to the area, Miss Terry. So, Chewy, talking about Nike. So, Tennessee has worn Adidas in its past. And then they switched over to Nike a few years back. Now they're switching back to Adidas.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that that's like per se because Nike did anything terrible to the Tennessee uniforms. They didn't go off the reservation with them per se. But something that has bothered me for years, probably the last 15 years or so, is the way that Nike somehow, somewhere in their mind along the way, got it in their head that every team should look like they come from the year 2157. I understand marketing. I understand selling jerseys. I understand 16-year-old recruits thinking alternative uniforms are cool. I get all of that. But somewhere along the way, we forgot what uniforms are supposed to do, what they're supposed to be. You know, they're supposed to be instantly recognizable because they're a part of a brand. They're a part of a team's identity. They're a part of a team's history. There are magical moments that are supposed to be happening in these uniforms just like were happening in the ones that they were wearing 30, 40, 50 years ago. And you want the identity to be consistent. You know, when I think of the Yankees, I think of the pinstripes. I see the Yankees, and I see them in their uniforms. I know exactly what that team is. There's no names on the back of the uniforms, just classic pinstripes. When you see the Packers and the Raiders and Alabama and Tennessee and Penn State and Texas and Notre Dame, what's funny about that is I've got like all of these. Penn State, Notre Dame, USC, all of the traditional looks. They're all my favorite. Because why? Why? They're iconic. And then Nike comes along and says, we've got an idea. I look at what happened, especially as a Browns fan, to some of the NFL teams. The Dolphins had one of the iconic NFL uniforms. Iconic. The bright aqua, orange accents. One of the most recognizable looks in football, period. And then Nike came in and modernized everything. The colors got flatter. The logo got softer. The blue became less. We talk about how the world seems less colorful. Blame Nike. Blame Nike. They don't scream Miami Dolphins anymore. They look like they came out of a corporate design magazine. Like some sort of...
Like a free asset kind of thing.
There was a time where, get this, there was a time where the Browns changed the color of the orange in their helmets quietly. Quietly. Nobody really noticed. I noticed because I'm not colorblind like Chewy. But no.
Just catching strays.
No, they changed the orange in their helmet. I said to my father, I turned to my father one day, a couple games into the season, I said, their orange is more red than it has been in the last few years. He said, no, it's not. I said, yeah, it is. Now, my father is the type of man who only sees like 5 colors.
Oh.
He only sees primary colors.
Yeah.
Orange is orange. There's not light orange and dark orange and red orange and burnt orange, and there's just orange. He's like, what are you talking about?
There's no burnt umber.
So, sure enough, Chewy, I looked it up, and they had this very pale light orange, and it became more red because the helmet company produced the shell of the helmet. Instead of painting the helmet, they had an orange shell that they could produce, but it was slightly off the shade of the paint color. It was not the same, but they wouldn't have to paint them anymore.
Oh, I see.
They could just buy the plastic shell as the orange that it was.
Yeah.
So from a money perspective, and then when they redesigned their uniforms, they were like, oh, well, we'll just put a storyline behind it. Like, this is our new orange because it's more exciting, or whatever the case is. But you look at Eric Metcalf and Bernie Kosar in the 80s orange that they wore, it was a different color orange. The Browns are literally named after a color, and you're going to mess with the color? The colors? And they did the same thing with the brown, too, by the way. The brown used to be a little different. Now it's like a darker.
The way I describe the Browns color palette is Halloween colors.
Yeah.
Like, they look like fall.
Looks like fall.
It looks like fall, and it also reminds me of, like, the Peanuts Halloween special a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's what I imagine.
Right.
Kevin Simmons says, do you have all 932 different uniforms and helmets for Oregon?
I do not. I don't. You know what? What's funny about that, Kevin, is you see, I've got so many. Chewy, how many friggin' mini helmets do you think I got? 50?
You're close to triple digits.
I don't know if I'm that close. If anybody
60?
ever maybe. If anybody ever wants to get me a gift, you know what I love? I collect these. I love the mini helmets. I need to get the new Titans one.
Ooh,
But if anybody is ever thinking, what does Joe want for a gift? People are always getting Chewy gifts, bringing him like artwork, beanies, all these things. No, I friggin' love these things. You know how many Oregon helmets I have?
Zero? Dang.
Not a one.
Not one?
Not a one. Because you know why? They're not iconic. They're not iconic. But so Nike gets a hold of the Browns uniform, right? Which, unless you're a Browns fan, you look at the Browns uniform and you're like, that is awful. That is absolute trash. Trash! And they get a hold of the Browns uniform and they're like, you know what? Let's tweak the colors a little bit. Let's put Cleveland across the chest in giant letters. Let's add some weird stripes to the sleeves that have nothing to do with their history and completely make them look like Bowling Green. We look like Syracuse if you swapped out the navy for the brown for a few years. It did not look like the Cleveland Browns. What did they do? Eventually, they went back to a more traditional look. The New York Jets had some really tremendous uniforms where they went back to the Joe Namath style, old school 50s or 60s uniforms, 60s uniforms. They had these tremendous uniforms. And then Nike got involved and they destroyed them. And after fan backlash, they went back to a version of traditional looking uniforms. The problem is, for New York Jets fans, the problem is they went back, they didn't go back to the uniforms that looked really good, that, you know, they won the Super Bowl in and all the things, the Joe Namath uniforms. They went back to the ones that they had in the 90s, which Jets fans will know they were absolutely awful in the 90s. Why would you go back to an era where you sucked as your uniforms? Tennessee Titans. As Titans fans, we all know, whether you liked their original Titan look or not, that was their identity. I still see that uniform, and I'm like, man, that's the Titans right there. And despite the flaming thumbtack jokes and all the things, now when I see their new uniforms, I'm just kind of like, meh. I don't hate them, but they don't scream Titans to me. Right?
Scream Oilers.
They scream a little Oilers.
I say shout, not scream.
You know why, Chewy? The modern gets old. Classic never does, my friend.
Dang. Would you come up with that one?
Yes. Modern gets old. Classic never does. That's how I feel. Which brings me back to Tennessee. I like what Adidas did. I like it. Stay with what got you there. Nothing looks better. The Power T, baby. Doesn't belong in a science fiction movie. Belongs on a football field. All right. We'll be back on the other side with more. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio Winchester.
When you're investing in your home, you want someone local. At Discount Floors and More, you're not dealing with a big box store. You're working with a family-owned business that takes pride in every project. From carpet and hardwood to tile and luxury vinyl plank, they offer quality products, professional installation, and service you can trust. Stop by Discount Floors and More on the Bypass in Winchester and see the difference that local makes. On the web at discountfloorsandmoretn.com.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Health Department is helping local families prepare for the upcoming school year with its annual Back to School Bash. The drive-thru event will take place Thursday, July 23rd, beginning at 8 a.m. at the Health Department, located at 266 Joyce Lane in Winchester. Students will receive free backpacks filled with school supplies while supplies last, helping ease the cost of back-to-school shopping for area families. Organizers encourage parents to arrive early as supplies will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. The event has become a popular community tradition, giving students the tools they need to start the school year prepared and ready to learn. Franklin County Schools has officially opened online enrollment for the 2026 to 2027 school year. Parents can register new students or update returning student information for grades 1 through 12 by visiting fcstn.net. Pre-K and kindergarten students will continue using traditional paper enrollment forms. Families needing assistance can visit enrollment kiosk at the Franklin County Board of Education every Wednesday in July from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. The district encourages parents to complete enrollment early and reminds families that important back-to-school dates and the full school calendar are available on the district's website and Facebook page. Downtown Winchester is inviting the community to enjoy its next Third Thursday event on July 16th with the Summer Pick-and Party from 5 until 8 p.m. Visitors can explore downtown businesses while collecting fresh flower stems to create their own bouquet, enjoy live pick-and music, shopping specials, and browse vintage treasures at featured businesses Oaks and Oliver. Guests will also have the opportunity to win prizes, including a $200 Oaks and Oliver gift certificate. Tickets are $25 with additional ticket information available through downtown Winchester. For details on these stories and more, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
I'm Kristen Abraham, curator of Abraham Art Gallery right on the square in downtown Winchester. Looking for something unique? Every month brings a new featured artist, original art to inspire and share with the community. Come in, explore, and discover art that's ready to go home with you today. Whether you're redecorating, collecting, or just need something that sparks joy, this is your place. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. Visit abrahamgallery.com or stop by at 106 North High Street. You never know what you'll fall in love with.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
I got all these football helmets sitting in front of me. Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Outside of, if you're in the chat, if you're in the FMO Facebook feed, outside of the Tennessee Vols, in college football, who is your favorite? Who's got your favorite uniform? What's your favorite look? Chewy, from somebody who's not a sports fan, per se, out of all the helmets that you've seen sitting around, is there one that stands out to you as your favorite? One that's like the coolest?
I'm always a big fan of the gold. I like black and gold. I like the Saints colors as well.
Yeah, I like the Saints too. This is Florida State's. This is one of my favorites.
That one is pretty decent.
So that's garnet and gold.
But here's the thing. The only sports team I ever grew up with was the Tennessee Vols. So when I think of football uniforms, there's from like the early to mid 2000s is the one that I think of, you know? So
yeah.
For me, if you ask me what my favorite uniform is, I'd say that one. So
right.
I will go with the Tennessee Vols, even if that may be a more generic answer. But I've always liked that.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me with a Vols helmet on.
Really?
It was in the Knoxville newspaper in '96.
That's cool. Even Chewy was a Tennessee fan in the mid '90s. That just goes to show you how powerful that brand was and what they were doing here in the state. Yeah, that's what I'm interested to know what Tennessee fans' like favorite looking helmet is outside of their own. You know, what do you lean into? All right. Chewy, it is a Therapy Thursday. I've got one last really good therapy segment.
Well, before you do, Brett did say, no one. They all suck. Go Big Orange. All right, one last therapy segment.
So, I think that the entire Hardaway family, Tim Hardaway and Tim Hardaway Jr., senior and junior, I think that they need to go to therapy. Now, you don't necessarily know who they are. Tim Hardaway was an NBA player in the 90s and maybe early 2000s. He spent all of last week telling people his number with the Miami Heat, number 10, is retired. And his son just got signed by the Miami Heat. He spent all of last week telling people that his son cannot wear his retired number 10 jersey, that he's not going to let them bring it out of retirement because essentially he wants him to create his own legacy. Okay, fair enough. Like, you want your kid to do it on their own. Retired jersey's supposed to stay retired. I can understand that argument if you didn't share the same name. I want my kid to create his own legacy, but I am going to name him after me.
Yeah.
Because I really like my legacy. Yesterday, he changed his mind. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to get to wear the number 10 after all.
Huh.
After he described it becoming a family decision. But I go back to the need for therapy. You want him to create your own, like his own identity, but you named him after yourself. He's literally Tim Hardaway Jr. So every time somebody says his name, they're talking about you. You've already guaranteed his entire life he is going to be compared to his father.
Well, do you know anything about the kid? Or, like, is he a good player?
He's a good player. Good player. He's not.
Is he not Tim?
He's not his dad.
Okay. That was really my question. Was like, do you
He's a
see
good player.
that?
Good player. Nice little player. But you draw the line at jersey? At number? But imagine that conversation. Dad, I just got picked up by your old team. That is so cool, son. Can I wear your number 10? No, son, I want you to make your own name.
He looks down at his name tag. He's like,
Dad, my name is your name.
yeah. Do you think maybe that's how they sold him, though? They're like, but if I wear the 10, it'll be like you playing all over again, and people will be talking about you.
Oh,
again,
man.
You know?
I don't know. I don't know what Tim Hardaway, like, what was going on. Does he not like his son?
Brett says Hardaway's a head case anyway.
Yeah. He literally grew up playing basketball because his father was Tim Hardaway.
I've never heard of Tim Hardaway. Is he like a good player?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull up Tim Hardaway.
What era was he?
Yeah, 90s.
Okay.
I think maybe early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah. He did make it into the early 2000s.
Like, really, the only basketball players I know are, like, the big main ones and Larry Bird.
So, Hardaway, born in 1966. First-round pick, number 14th overall by the Golden State Warriors. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2022. Played 13 years in the NBA. Averaged 17.7 points a game. 43% field goal shooting, 35% from three. He's a good player. I'm going to look at his son, see what his son's career statistics look like. Tim Hardaway Jr., drafted by the Knicks in the first round, 24th overall back in 2013. He averages over the course of his career, he averages 13.7 points a game, 41.9% field goal percentage, 36.5% from three. Very similar to his father. Dad got a few more points per game.
But overall, pretty decent.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr. is 6'5". Tim Hardaway is 6 foot.
Really?
Yeah, he was 6 foot 175. Junior is 6'5", 205. Now, this, to me, what this shows is look at where athletes are nowadays.
Well,
look at how the game has changed. So when we compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James, look at how the game has changed over the last 30 years. And they're different players. They play different styles, I suppose. They have similar numbers, though. Junior is a shooting guard and small forward, and Hardaway was a point guard. But still, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hardaway, 5-time All-Star, 89-90 All-Rookie team. And Hardaway Jr. was a 2013-14 All-Rookie. Never been an All-Star.
Kevin Simmons says, no, son, you're not going to wear number 10. You're going to wear number 11.
I think that it's just funny. I mean, he's already got your name. Junior's just attached to it. Grew up playing basketball because you played basketball. Gets drafted. People immediately recognize the name. His entire basketball life, his entire life period, has been connected to yours. And now we're concerned about individuality?
Yeah.
We're a little bit late for that. If your goal was for him to make his own legacy, probably step one should have been to name him Steve.
Terrence.
To be fair, I understand what he meant. I understand what he was trying to say.
Yeah. He didn't want his legacy to overshadow his son's, maybe, or he wanted his son to not ride on his coattails or whatever.
Right. I mean, his number being retired with the Heat is a symbol of what he accomplished there. But here's the thing. How many fathers and sons in the history of ever get that opportunity to not only play at a professional level, but to carry on a legacy? It's not like some dude named Greg Johnson is wearing number 10. This is your son. This is Tim Hardaway Jr. Again, like I said, I think this family needs a little bit of therapy. I mean, there's nobody better to wear it than your own son. He's not some random dude. He grew up in Miami. He probably ran around the practice facility that he's now playing at while you played there. He probably grew up dreaming and wearing your uniform and dreaming to be like you. He's not replacing your legacy. If you're his father, he's adding to it. Isn't that why we have kids? It's not like the jersey doesn't honor Tim Hardaway still. In fact, it just honors him more.
It would be fascinating to see like him make an impact with that number. You know what I mean? To like add to the lore. You know, I really hope that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he's only been Tim Hardaway Jr. for 34 years.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for the best for that whole situation.
Yeah.
It is funny though.
Well, I think that the ultimate like lesson to learn for parents in this situation is think about this before you have kids. Maybe, you know, I've had a bunch of them. You go through the naming process. It's tough. I've got a kid that's named after me. If you truly want your kids to make their own name, my suggestion to you is to not start by giving them your name.
Yeah.
Otherwise, do not act surprised when they want your jersey number 2.
Kevin Simmons says George Foreman has like 5 sons named George. What?
Yes, they're all George Foreman.
Are you serious? How are you allowed to do that?
I feel bad for like the guys down in Miami, Pat Riley, and could y'all have figured this out maybe like before the press conference?
Yeah.
If you ever have a kid,
that'd be.
We're all in danger. But
Yeah.
if you were to have a kid, what would you name him?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like Nemo. Like Captain Nemo.
Not like Nemo.
Well, that one too.
In the movie.
I like the fish.
Yeah?
But
Okay.
Captain Nemo is what I'm thinking.
Katie made a statement yesterday. We were talking about names at the house with the kids, and she made a statement yesterday that was so on point, and it was something along the lines of, until you start trying to figure out a name for your kid, you never realize how many people you don't like.
Yeah.
Until you're trying to, and it's like, nope, can't name them that.
Yeah. I don't know. Mine would probably be Luke if I had a son. I mean, that one's obvious. That one's safe enough.
Yeah.
You know, where I could get away with that one.
I think it would be cool to give them a middle name. Like middle names are kind of throwaways these days.
Yeah.
Like Vader or something like that.
Just.
Or what if their first name was Darth and then they just went by their middle name?
And it's just Clarence.
Yeah. So when you yell at him, when his mom yells at him, it's like, Darth Clarence Abraham?
I would pay for that. I really would.
Chewie names his kid Darth Chewie.
Darth Chewie. Yeah.
Darth Wookiee. Oh man, you don't need to have a kid. He would totally turn to the dark side. That's
Dude,
how it works.
I'm telling you, like I would be like they would write history books about the mistakes that were made.
Well, because like all my kids are light-siders, right? Because I'm dark side. They're light-siders. They've all gone. This is the truth everywhere, anytime. Since a tale is old as time. Your kids, if you're on the dark side, your kids are going to go the other way. If you're on the light side, the kids are going to turn to the dark side. Just is what it is. Look at pastors' kids. You know, tale is old as time. We'll be back on the other side. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
If your life depended on the mission succeeding, what would you care about? Would you care about the demographics of the crew? The moon does not care about your politics, doesn't care about your hashtags. It does not care about where you lie on social media arguments. It doesn't care whether you're male or female or black or white or rich or poor or conservative or liberal or religious or atheist or anything else, because reality does not negotiate. It just is. You can disagree with the facts, but they don't care about your feelings. It is a starting lineup. Thank you for tuning in. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwannee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name, High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Take the starting lineup with you wherever you go. Download the WCDT smartphone app in your Google Play and Apple App Store. Now, back to the guys.
Wrapping things up here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Matthew Ledbetter did jump in saying during the chat saying, if pastor's kids go rogue, because he's been hanging out with the church members' kids.
I know. I knew I was going to. I'll probably get a message from my pastor as well. He's got good kids too. Listen, he knows what I mean. Everybody knows that joke.
Oh, we know what you meant, Joe.
We know it. Yeah. You know what I meant. All right. I did want to talk about this real quick. So it's coming into shape. I don't know if it's maybe messing up by releasing this, but it's going to happen, and it probably needs to be put out there sooner rather than later. The Quarterback Club is putting together a dinner with Philip Fulmer. It recently got approved, and the details are still coming into shape. I believe it's going to happen on July 26th. And they're going to be this is a fundraiser dinner for the football program. They're going to be selling tickets and tables and the whole nine yards to this dinner. So if you want to attend this thing, just be on the lookout. Obviously, Fulmer, a former Franklin County Rebel, University of Tennessee head coach when they won the national championship in 1998, as well as the former athletic director over there at the University of Tennessee, Franklin County High School Football Hall of Fame member. And again, it's going to be hosted by the Quarterback Club. July 26th is the date. So watch out for more details on that. And I encourage you to try and attend. It's going to be a cool night. I again don't know all the details on it, but I'll have more information on it after this weekend because there's a Quarterback Club meeting.
There you go.
That I'm going to be attending. So I'll fill you in more on it next week. But mark that date on your calendar, that evening on your calendar, July 26th, 5 p.m. Oh, man. Chewy, do you Need therapy this morning? Is there anything in your life that I can help you with, my friend?
Not right now.
You sure?
I'll wait till next Thursday.
Are you? You're
for a rain check.
You're positive?
Oh, there's plenty that we got to get started on, but it's just like it's not before the end of the show.
Okay. We can go in the other room. You can lay on a couch, and I'll pull up get some glasses on, make myself look smarter.
Sure.
And we can go through some things.
Take some notes.
Yeah.
It all started when I was born.
No, I know when it started. It started when your dad dropped that light on your head.
That did happen. Yeah. I remember that so crystal clear. I really do. And it's just like, what are the odds, though, that your idiot son is walking directly under what you're doing at the exact same moment? And think about it, because it was like a fluorescent like light tube box, so it was like a thin line. So I would have had to have been walking within a 3 to 4 inch like radius. Not radius, but like, you know what I mean? Just right there. And then I was just right there, right time. Broke it in half.
Do we need to bring him in as well? Have a group therapy session?
He needs the therapy more than I did, because it didn't hurt me. I don't remember it hurting.
No, you don't remember it hurting.
No.
You could see colors before that, but
I never smiled after that. Yeah. So, but my dad, like, he thought he'd killed me. Like, I remember.
Did it knock you to the ground?
No, it was just like I was like, that was weird. Like, I remember it like going boom, and I was like ah, and I looked up and I said, what was that for? And he is my dad. I have this perfect image of my dad sprinting down the stairs because he thought, we're going to the hospital.
Yeah, Chewy was normal before that happened.
That's a good question. I need to ask them. I was like, what was I before this incident?
Apparently, you were a football fan, showing up in like Tennessee Vols helmet pictures over in Knoxville. Like, you were an actual normal Tennessee kid.
Yeah. Now look at me.
All it took was you getting hit in the head with a fluorescent light bulb.
So if you would like to be more like me, just take a couple fluorescents and just go to town.
We're selling classes. It only takes 5 minutes to complete the course.
Now, is part
of
it
also...
Walk
in, register, get slapped up the side of the head with a fluorescent light.
Is also part of the requirement that it has to be like Looney Tunes-esque, where it like has to be like the piano falling out. You know what I mean? Like, you have to like slip and fall in a banana peel and hit your head or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's part of it. All right. Well, speaking of Looney Tunes, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, on the starting lineup. Coming up next, it's Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop. The sun is out, and I'm going to be headed over to the high school and see if I can take in some 7-on-7. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
The Tennessee Lifeline Peer Project connects individuals and families to addiction recovery resources right here in Franklin County and across our region. From treatment referrals and 12-step meetings to education and ongoing support. Because recovery happens when we're stronger together, and life truly is stronger without it. Learn more at fcpctn.org/TNLifeline or call 931-464-0725. Funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
This is ESPN Radio Winchester, where Franklin County comes to life. From local news and athletics to everything in between, we're proud to bring you the stories that matter right here at home. And it's all made possible by local businesses connecting with real people in our community every single day. When you support them, you support our local coverage. Over 75 years of Franklin County heritage. Want your business to be a part of it? Contact WCDT today. ESPN Radio Winchester. Franklin County plays here.
It's time for a community calendar update presented by Minuteman Press in Tullahoma.
Here's what's coming up in Franklin County. Franklin County residents are invited to attend Partnering with Government Workshop number 3 on Thursday, July 9th at 6 p.m. in the Franklin County Annex Community Room. The workshop will focus on managing Franklin County's growth and providing an update for the proposed 2027 county budget, along with discussions on planning, zoning, economic development, and industrial recruiting. On Saturday, June 11th, the Fraternal Order of Police Harris Mitchell Lodge number 56 will host a Franklin County Candidates Town Hall from 4 to 8:30 p.m. at the Franklin County Farmers Pavilion. The event offers an opportunity to hear directly from candidates, ask questions, and meet members of the community. Food trucks and vendors will also be on site. Parents will still have time to register their children for the Winchester Parks and Recreation Summer Sports Camp scheduled for July 13th through the 17th.